Elon still hates the BBB. He's not shy about it. He's been saying a lot, like, if this thing passes, I'm forming the Save America Party, I think it is, the America something party, the very next day, and also threatening to primary anyone who votes for it, which means every Republican, Rich. I mean, speaking of Rich, he is, but that's a lot of money to primary every single Republican. Hold on, I'm going to set it up for you.
Yeah.
And now Trump gets asked about some of the antagonism by Elon and says this at the White House this morning before he went down to Florida.
I don't know. I think we'll have to take a look. We might have to put
Are you going to
Doge
deport
on
him?
Elon. You know what Doge is? Doge is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, Peter. But Elon's very upset that the EV mandate is going to be terminated. And you know what? When you look at it, not everybody wants an electric car. I don't want an electric car. I want to have maybe gasoline, maybe electric, maybe a hybrid, maybe someday a hydrogen. If you have a hydrogen car, it has one problem. It blows up, So I'm going to give that one to Peter. I'm going to let Peter test it out.
Okay. Even Charlie's laughing at that one.
He's funny. He's funny. He's the funniest president we've ever had. It's just true. I don't know why people who don't like him can't admit this. He's hilarious.
So Rich.
Maybe, of course,
we're deporting Elon.
Asked about deporting Elon. He's going to say, of course, we're looking at it, right?
We're kicking it around.
Says about everything. He's not going to deport Elon. And look, Elon is a genius. He's just not a genius at politics. And there are a lot of reasons for having a man crush on Donald Trump the way he professed to have, to be very enthusiastic about electing him last year, to be jumping on stage and bearing his midriff, all that. But one of them was not the conviction that Donald Trump would deal with the debt or seriously reform entitlements, which is a necessary step to dealing with the debt. He occasionally mentions he's going to do it, but it's clearly not a priority. And he's been very explicit that he's not going to touch entitlements, which makes it a fiscal impossibility, a mathematical impossibility to deal with the debt. So Elon shouldn't be surprised by what happened here. Maybe he's going to form a party, but the idea that they're just a bunch of people on the sidelines who are really into entitlement reform and deficit reduction, they're going to go out and primary all these guys and put the fear of God in them is never going to happen. No. He does not have anything like the political clout that Donald Trump does. And going back to the Harry Enton point about how popular Trump is among Republicans, there have been other Republican presidents who are popular among Republicans, although there might be a unique bond here. But what's different is if you're a Tom Tillis and you cross some conventional Republican president in the past, that president might be PO'd at you, might in private let it be known that he's upset with you. He might put his political consultants to work to defeat you in a primary in a year or two. What's different with Trump, he instantly wields his power. He blasts you in public. A lot of the Trump-friendly media picks up on it. They'll blast you as well. And you'll go to a town hall the next day, and 2/3 of your voters will hate you, right?
Yeah.
Who wants to deal with that? No one wants to deal with that. And maybe, if you're unique and have, John McCain may have been this, Susan Collins certainly is, where you're kind of in a non-red state and have a real distinct brand and a different political base, you can survive that Trump onslaught. Otherwise, you're not. You're just not. So you can do what Tillis did, vote against it, but you are either going to have to you will likely be defeated in a primary or take the easy way out and retire. So this is a unique form of presidential power, which goes to the hold he has among Republicans and his willingness to wield it in a blunt force manner immediately.
There is a bug in my studio that's been harassing me I apologize. It's like, if you can't, I'm not having a fit on the air. I'm trying to get this bug away from me. You're exactly right about all of that. And I think, eventually Elon will come to terms with the fact that this is going to pass. It has to pass. Trump's entire presidency depends on this passing. But I understand his frustration because he got sent in there to go Dogify the federal government. And he really couldn't. He tried, but there were so many roadblocks given the way our administrative law works and, how you're really kind of not allowed to fire certain people or touch certain things. It was incredibly frustrating for those of us who were rooting for him. We had dinner last night with a friend of ours from Argentina. And he was telling us how much Argentinians love Javier Milei and how, inflation was out of control. He was saying in Argentina, you'd go to a store, it'd be closed on a random Wednesday at 2:00 in the afternoon. And you'd say, why are you closed? When they open back up, and they say, because we didn't know what the inflation would be today or whether we could afford to be in business today, selling goods with the prices as they are. That's how Argentina was before he got there. Stuff. Yeah. So they love Javier Milei, and he was able to go in there with his chainsaw and start slashing all these government agencies in a way you just can't do here, given the way we're set up and how many layers of bureaucracy there are between you and meaningful cuts. And I think, Charlie, when I look at Elon's comments today, because one of his comments in response to that Trump shot was something like, I'm gonna restrain myself right now. I am restraining myself from responding. So that's good. He's doing that. But you can feel his frustration. I think his determination to actually make real cuts to government spending is real, and it's next to impossible.
Yes. Elon Musk is a genius. He's a genius in the great American tradition of genius. He is extremely strange, which is usual among geniuses. In fact, many American geniuses, especially in the invention realm, are also awful people, which I'm not sure Elon is. But he is a very strange, brilliant, eccentric American genius. And his genius is not in politics. It's in other things. And in fact, it's in things that very often make understanding politics quite difficult. One of the famous stories I was taught in college about American politics was Jimmy Carter with an energy bill. And Jimmy Carter had some expertise in energy. And he thought when the time for the energy bill to be written came up that he would just look at the country and its energy needs, and they would all sit around as experts and they would work out what to do, and then they would go to Congress and everyone would say, wow, what a brilliant bill, and they pass it. But of course that's not how it worked. People had different political opinions. Some people were irrational, others didn't want this or that plant in their state. Energy prices had fluctuated in one part of the country and not another part. There were things going on in the Middle East. And Carter became very, very frustrated by this because fundamentally he didn't understand politics. And I think that's true of Elon Musk as well. It is simply not the case. I wish desperately that it were, but it is simply not the case that there is this great mass of people in the American middle who are desperate to reform entitlements or fix the budget. They might tell you, if asked, that they are worried about the deficits and they are worried about the debt, as they should be. But then you have to do the what to do about it part. Some of them want to cut taxes. Some of them want to raise taxes. Some of them want to cut spending. A lot of them might say they want to cut spending, but then it's what gets cut. Oh, could we not cut foreign aid? Well, actually, foreign aid's not too much of the budget. Okay, what is? Well, defense is some of it. Let's cut that. Oh, so you don't want us to be as strong as we are? No, actually, on second thoughts. Well, let's cut social, not that. Medicaid, not that. Medicaid, we just cut, we'll slow the rate of growth. No, we don't want to do that either. Can we abolish the Department of Education? No, we don't want to do that because that's schools, right? And then what happens is you get back into exactly the same political fight that we've all been having for 50 years. You can't just create a third party that's going to solve this. The reason that we have our two parties and are full of people who have different views within them. The reason there's a left wing of the Democratic Party and a more moderate wing of the Democratic Party, the reason that there is a MAGA wing of the Republican Party and then the me wing, which is, cut, is that Americans have strong political opinions. They can't agree among themselves. So Musk can't solve this in the way that he can solve, say, a rocket trajectory, where he sits with the most brilliant people he knows and they do all the math and physics on a piece of paper. It's just not how politics works. It's how a lot of very smart people think politics ought to work, but it's not how politics does work.
Since President Trump was sworn in, his administration has made enormous progress at a breakneck pace. But don't forget, while they are moving mountains for the good of the nation, you've got your personal savings to worry about. And one of the best ways to look after your savings is through diversification, particularly with gold, like from Birch Gold Group. In the past 12 months, the value of gold has increased by 40%. And Birch was an advertiser on this show 12 months ago. If you had purchased then, you'd be 40% richer today. Now's the time. Central banks continue to bolster demand for gold by burying in record quantities. Global instability and tension is high, and Birch Gold makes owning physical gold so easy. Easily convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold, or buy some to store in your home safe. Just text MK to the number 989898, and Birch Gold is going to send you a free info kit on gold. Look into it, see if it's right for you. There's no obligation, just useful information to help you make a decision. With an A+ rating, with a Better Business Bureau, and tens of thousands of happy customers, take control of your savings today. Text MK to 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.